All right. Hello and good evening. Welcome to the In Head Sports Show with your host, Lou Tenor from East Hanover, New Jersey, and co-host Steve Davidson from the District of Columbia. Catch the In Heads team every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, join the conversation by calling 512-543-4662. This is a product of the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, prepare yourself, stand up, and get ready to be enhanced.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Enhanced Sports Show. It's just after 4 o'clock on Saturday. My name is Lou Tenor, and welcome again to another edition of the show here. The number to call, of course, is 512-543-4662. And don't forget, now the show is on YouTube. So after the show, you can check us out on the YouTube. All you got to do is just go to Google, type in Enhanced Sports Show, and voila, there it is. Before we begin, I have to pass along a sad note, personally. We lost a family friend over the past weekend on Sunday, and we had the funeral today. So I'm going to dedicate this show to the memory of a longtime friend of the family, Richard Falcone, who had passed away. So yeah, we found out last Sunday while we were celebrating my dad's birthday. So that's how it came to be. So I just want to take a minute to just remember him, and then we'll get started. Thanks, Steve. Okay. All right. Now on to business. All right. Well, be prepared because this has been a big week in the sports world. We know we've got the Elite Eight now coming up. I almost said the Sweet 16. We're now in the Elite Eight. We have, of course, the. All right. What's with the echo again? Just ignore it. World Baseball Classic just ended. Spring training is entering the final week, and by this time next week, we will be in regular season baseball. So how about that? All right. So anyway, and of course, if you're all feeling a little bit disgusted, I know exactly why. It's because your brackets have all been busted. We had another upset, of course, in the tournament. Especially, but I want to take attention to Thursday's game between the rematch of UCLA and Gonzaga. Another great matchup, just as I expected, going down to the wire. Even though that at one point Gonzaga was up by as many as 13, and yet it was coming down to a last minute possession by Gonzaga. So it was just that kind of a game. All right, let me welcome in, of course, Steve. Yeah. That too. Houston did have a problem. Steve Kent. Hello. Diane, of course. And Jennifer, is that you? Or Nick? Nick. Okay. Welcome aboard. Right. So, I mean, that game Thursday had all the makings of a classic, just like its previous game when they went in double overtime, because I go in double overtime. It was almost reminiscent of that. That was, a game that went right down the wire. But I knew it was going to be a great game. We have two great teams on the West Coast battling it out. I was not surprised by the result at all. I knew right then and there this is going to be like, okay, it's going to be like the last game we saw with these two teams. I wouldn't doubt it. If you missed that game, you cannot call yourself a fan of college basketball. I'm sorry. You just can't. It was that good of a game, that intense. You couldn't ask for anything better. Did anybody see the game? Steve, did you see? Did you see the game or no? Good, good. Steve Kent. Gee, I wonder what. Oh, hey, look, during this time of year, we all as basketball fans do work on very little sleep. Well, then the hockey playoffs. Yeah. Well, that's when I lose a lot of sleep. Oh yeah. So that was truly one of the greatest games in tournament history. And yeah, yeah. Well, the game could have went either way, to be honest with you. But yeah, but I had Gonzaga. Right. Yes. Yeah. Well, you got to remember, Steve. Gonzaga is not the underdog that they once were. When they were once down as a 10th seed, or I think it was a 12th seed, and nobody expected them to go that far. And look where they went. They only made the Elite Eight, and nobody thought, because before that, hardly anybody even heard of Gonzaga until 2010 or whatever it was. So they've really come a long way since then. Now they're one of the premier basketball schools. Sure. Yes. Exactly. Um, Nick, do you have any thoughts on that? Oof. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Right. That's right. They're still in it, and they're still in it. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for that game. Yeah, we have no number one seeds left in this tournament. How about that, guys? No. So this has been quite a very unusual tournament, to say the least. And unfortunately, that now both underdogs are now out because, as you know, FDU lost, and of course Princeton lost last night, which I kind of expected. You know, as as well as I thought maybe they took a lead briefly in the first half, but then right after that just fell apart. I wasn't expecting Princeton to go far into the making the Elite Eight. That'd be a little bit too hard to come by. But nevertheless, the Princeton Tigers made a valiant effort in this tournament, and hopefully they'll thrive for that next year. At least I hope so. No, no, it's not just you. Not at all. Not. You don't feel like Creighton. No, no, you're right. Nobody expected that. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So unfortunately, Princeton lost that team I hate, which is Creighton, and they beat him. It wasn't a blowout by any means. It was under 10 points. It was 11 points. So not a complete blowout whatsoever. It was more competitive than I think most people give it credit for. But Creighton, of course, Creighton's Creighton, and Princeton still has a lot of work to do. But still, like I said, it's a valiant effort. So now it comes down to the Elite Eight, and by tomorrow, by this time or a little bit after, we'll have the Final Four. It goes quick, guys. Last week we were down to 32. Now we're down to 8 in just a matter of 7 days. How about that? So it's now really down to really down to the thick of it, and this is where it really gets dramatic. And I'm waiting for that UConn game at 6 o'clock. Thankfully, it'll be after the show is over, so I don't have to worry about missing the game at all. Ugh. I hate when I had to miss the Final Four. That's what I call sacred. So we had another upset last night as Miami knocked off Houston. So guess what, Houston? You have another problem. So anyway, Kevin Sampson of Houston said he would be in the Final Four. He would not engage the idea. How he tells he was upset in the tournament. During 1994, Sampson, who was with Washington State, lost the Boston College that made it to the Elite Eight. What happened again last night? Well, deja vu happened all over again. As Miami, well, it's a fifth seeded team, so that's not highly unusual. I mean, fifth seeds, they can go a long way. So let's get that straight right now. So, but Houston was playing on their home court about just a 20-minute drive away, so that kind of made it upsetting. They were on for the postseason, and their national title hopes came to an end. Miami was a 7.5 underdog, but yet they beat them. The Hurricanes got off guard. I mean, they caught Houston off guard with their speed and defensive 3-point shooting. Well, that's enough to throw any team off, to be honest with you. Miami, the Hurricanes made 11 of their first 22 shots from the arc as Kansas State transfer Nigel Pack ended up with 26 points. Nochard Omier finished with 13 points and 12 rebounds, which was a problem for Houston, who was accustomed to being the most aggressive team on the floor, no matter who they were up against. Well, I guess that all ended last night, didn't it, folks? For Houston, their loss was a turbulent stretch in the ACC tournament. Marcus Saucer suffered a groin injury. Okay, that hurts. That affected him for multiple games. Jamel Schneed suffered a knee injury with the win over Northern Kentucky and dealt with back issues in last night's loss. Okay, that's not a team. That's a train wreck. And Sampson said basketball was a way for him to heal after losing his twin sister while he was coaching the AACC tournament. So our hearts go out to them as well. Entering last night, Houston only lost one game since January 22nd. The return of Sasser, who had 14 points, and Tyron Mark, who scored 12 points, who missed most of last season with injuries, and the arrival of Jarris Walker, a potential first-round draft pick, and the Cougars reloading after losing four seniors of last year's squad after being Villanova. Houston now heads home after losing his chance to play for a national title just a short drive away from the campus. That's going to sting a little bit. But Sasser said according to Sasser, the team was not impacted by the pressure of that possibility. I don't know. I think you can be affected by that. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot riding on that, and you're under a lot of pressure. So I think they may have been impacted by that. And of course, the injuries that have been piling up with Houston, that might have played a role in it because you can't go in the tournament, you know, looking like the walking wounded, and your opponent can take advantage easily of that. Or am I the only one who thinks this way? Hmm. All right, hang on a second, guys. Wait a minute. I'm gonna fix this right now. Just a second here. All right, Steve Davidson, your thoughts first. Let me fix that. Steve, your thoughts on what you just said about Houston. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like I said, do you think maybe there was an impact of them with losing? Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah. Nick, your thoughts? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Masters Jack does a lot of this stuff. He's more famous though for baseball and football more than anything else. I know that. I know what you mean by that. Guy's a weirdo. Steve Kent, your thoughts on Houston's downfall? Just Matt. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Maybe. Maybe. No. Oh yeah. I was just gonna mention that to Steve. I was just gonna mention that to Steve Davis here. Hey, Steve, Alabama lost. Sorry, but I wasn't too sold on them anyway to go all the way because as well as they did this year. I mean, it's been a long time since they did anything. So I wasn't expecting them to go to the Elite Eight or the Final Four, but nevertheless, they did give a good effort and became a number one seed. But I still wasn't really looking for them to go all making it this far. Nope, nope. Nope, that's an entirely different game, man. Entirely different game. You can't think, well, we're dominant in one sport, so we're gonna be dominant in the next one. Not true. But yeah. Jay, you gotta have your players. One thing out of the lineup, and that can change the whole game complex completely. You're not going games that way, buddy. Mm-mm. Forget it now. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Just like that. Yes. Oh, before I go on, I want to wish some of my friends in a competition in Wildwood this weekend. So good luck with the basketball. And some of them are, of course, are our regulars and contributors. They should be back next week. So I want to wish them all congratulations on that, and hopefully they'll bring home a medal. What do you want, a medal? Oh boy. Okay, but good luck and because Mike Paris, who is a regular, is on the basketball team, and we hopefully wish him good luck. Oh, good. That background noise is gone, whatever it was. Thank goodness. No. Oh, I thought it was a jackhammer. Okay. Well, that's a lot. Really? Okay, spill it. Spill it. Oh yeah. Hey, wait. We got another good matchup. Either time tomorrow, the Bruins and the Hurricanes. Mm. That's going to be very interesting because the Eastern Conference is heating up. Yes, I know. Now that is significant. As we head down to the stretch, it's time to get the players in gear and have them all healthy and whatnot. I mean, because also remember too that just because you're cruising in the regular season does not guarantee you're going to do well in the playoffs. Case in point, when the Lightning in 2018 they cruised the regular season, what happened? They got swept in the first round of the playoffs. Yeah, yeah, and but basically, I think sometimes the teams just run out of gas after doing so well, and it all caught up with them. So that's what I think what happens there. It does happen, people. So we have to think. You got to think about that. So they play tonight after the show is over. We'll go over that later. Yes, I think it is the Wild. All right. So we're down to the final eight. Take your predictions a little bit later on. I think we just say it for now. Right now, I want to turn attention to baseball. Um, I want to go over some of the injury lists there here because this is a pretty big list here. And for you Mets fans out there, I'm glad Mike's not on here today because he have a fit with this one. Uh, Mets right-handed pitcher Edwin Diaz, he's out for the season with a knee injury that he suffered in the World Baseball Classic as he was celebrating with his teammates afterwards. So not a good way to. Yeah, that's a shame right there. And the rest of you too. Um, Starting pitcher Jose Quintana is out with a rib injury, and he's out till July 1st. Oh boy. Um, Bryce Montez is out with an elbow injury. He's out till May 1st, so that's not too bad. Another Yankee got injured as Luis Severino is expected to be out till April 11th as he suffered a lateral injury. No, that's all. That's all we need. Yankees injuries are piling up, guys. That's not a good healthy way to start the season. When you they're beginning to be one. So I'll go over that list right now with the Yankees. This isn't a baseball team; it's a mass unit. Yeah, attentional personnel. Yeah, but the thing is though, at least it's happening now. Than like saying like August or September, where you're trying to find a playoff spot, and you're gonna need all the players you can get. So luckily, it's happening now, and he'll be back. Say like, oh, what, 40 games into the season? Yeah, yeah. No, no, 30 games, give or take. So it's not a devastating injury, but it can be it can be troublesome, especially if you're a fan of the team like me. No comments. Okay. I know you're yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, what a shock. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I heard. Like a finger. You you wonder, is it worth it playing in this? I mean, because a spring training's happening at the same time. I know it's a short tournament because you gotta get back within 3 weeks to start your season. Is it even really worth it to play in this tournament? Well, yeah. Oh yeah. That's in Europe. That's in Europe, Diane, not in America. Yes. Right. Uh yeah. Nick, any thoughts? Sorry. Yeah, cheap is right. Yes. Nick, your thoughts? Is it yeah, sure. Yes. Yeah. 2 months. Thursday, opening day. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Every 4 years. Well, I think maybe yeah, it's tough to say because when Team USA does basketball at the Olympics, that's done after their season, and it's done like a month after. But with baseball, the way their schedule is, that's kind of tough. By the way, Nick, who is your baseball team anyway? I didn't get a chance to ask. Okay, okay. All in the general region. Yeah, I'm a Michigan fan myself. I was waiting for you to do the battle cry, Nick. I was waiting for it. Oh wait, he probably never saw Red Dawn anyway. Okay, never mind. Di- Wolverines. Oh boy, I am getting old. Okay, okay. So as I just mentioned, um, we have another Yankee adds to the injured list as Luis Severino will start the season on the injured list with a what was described as a low-grade lateral strain, said by Aaron Boone. He is the latest in the starting rotation to hit the injured list, joining Carlos Rodon with a forearm injury and Frankie Montes, who underwent shoulder surgery. So he's going to be out for quite a while. Boone say that Severino won't pitch for at least 5 days. He last pitched in Tuesday's Grapefruit League, where he struck out 9 batters and gave up 2 hits in 4 innings before he was attacked by a grapefruit. No, it wasn't attacked by a grapefruit. That was a joke. That was a joke. The spring trade numbers for him, though, are horrible. And I mean horrible. You want to know what his ERA is for spring training? Anyone want to take a guess? You're not going to believe this, guys. His ERA in spring training is a 9, a 9.0. And to give 6 home runs. Now, how do you explain to go into the season when your ERA this season has been atrocious? I mean, what does that tell you? I mean, I don't think he's even ready for opening day. A 9.0 ERA? How do you explain that? But you gotta get those numbers down, buddy, before you even think about starting a game. I mean, you can't go regular season with that kind of a number. Right? They're gonna think, oh, come on, he can't be ready. We gotta ship him back to the minors already. Forget it. You better. You know, I don't know if that was another call or was yes. I'm not touching that one with 10-foot pole. Jimmy's here. I was wondering what that noise was. I know. Men's and women's. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is the first time that both teams that for both the men's and women's from Miami to make the Elite Eight. But Jimmy, what do you make of the Yankees injuries so far? I mean, the injuries is piling up for the Pinstripers. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, question, but what about answers? Do we have any answers? That's the thing. So anyway, Severino missed 2 months with the same injury with low grade lat strain last season. Yankees exercised his $15 million option for this season after he went 7-3 last season with a respectable 3.18 ERA. That's respectable. He had 22 starts. He was a start in game 2, but now Clark Schmidt will take over those duties. In the past 3 out of the last 4 years, he has been injury prone, to say the least, with elbow and back and whatever other injuries from 2019 and 2021, and missed all of 2020, of course, well, due to, well, you know what. So, and he's only had 18 innings combined in that span. I don't know. This kind of worries me about Severino. I mean, not to say he's not a bad pitcher, but the way he's been going, and his ERA is ugh, horrible in this preseason. I don't know. I don't think he should be in the pitchers rotation at all. I think should be sent back down to the minors. Don't go there. Oh, I'll get to that in a little while because that's a joke. That's just a comedy of errors. He's a comedy of errors, Jimmy. That's another story altogether. Yuck. So to read down more of the injury list, Jose Quintana has a rib injury. Oh yeah, I mentioned. Lou Trevino is out with an elbow injury till April 27th. Okay, not too bad. Tommy Canale to be expected to be out with biceps until April 22nd. Okay, not too long. Frankie Montez with a shoulder injury. he's out till at least mid-July. And Luis Gil with an elbow injury, he's out till at least mid-July, almost to the start of the All-Star break. Hmm. So that's pretty significant right there. And Nolan Ariendo of the Cardinals questionable to start the season as he suffered a hand injury. I think we might have heard about that. And Adam Wainwright, the starting pitcher, out until at least May 2nd as he suffered a groin injury. Okay, well, that's a big problem right there. Oof. I'm not going there. I'm not going there, Steve. Hey, well, true, but hockey players seem to get that more than anybody though. It's just me. I see a lot of hockey players come down with the groin injuries. So that's you know, it may sound humorous, but it really isn't. Mm, yeah, yeah. Ben Simmons is a joke, as we all know. All right, and yeah, Dave Dombrowski said has confirmed that first baseman Ryan Hoskins is out for the season with a torn left ACL, and he'll probably miss the entire season. But he said he's seeking a second opinion. Well, we know what happens with that. So, okay, you're ugly too. So there's your second opinion. No. Okay. Uh, he will require to have surgery. He said, and Dombrowski said, I'd be shocked if he does not. Well, I think he's going to need it regardless of what anybody thinks. And that will put him out for the entire season, and that's what we're planning on. He had a good season last year with 30 home runs and 79 RBIs as he was hit as he was fielding a left ground ball in spring training on Thursday. Ooh boy, that's a, is it me or are players finding new ways to get injured? Oh boy, he was backing. He was. It is. It's sickening. I heard. Yeah. No. One of the words I think the old song would say, "Goodbye to you." Mhm. All right. Okay. Soon after that, he fell to the ground and clutched his left knee. His teammates gathered around him as he was taken off the field. Dombrowski said on Thursday that Darwick Hall was called upon to take the spot of Hoskins. And that's Darick. Dombrowski says, we feel comfortable with Hall. We feel he can get the majority of playing time at first base. We think he's ready to step up to be a big league player. He hit 200, he hit 250 with 9 home runs and 41 RBIs last season. And this is, of course, coming off their NL Pennant Championship last season, which I think caught everybody by surprise, even me, because I didn't think they had a chance to get that far last year. You know, they were third in the NL East. They started the season horrible. I think it was like 2-12. They fired their manager. Everything was going, off the rails, and then they wind up winning the wild card series, the division series, and going to the World Series, only to be trounced by the cheaters, the Astros. Excuse me. So quite a remarkable season. But I think with this injury, I don't know if it's gonna have the same impact as his last season. It's tough to actually, duplicate what you did, the season before, especially in this day and age with free agency and all that. So yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. I wish him luck, but I don't see a repeat performance as he did last year. Last year was quite a surprise. I'm not expecting it to happen this year. Anybody agree with me or draw your own conclusions? Mm, okay. Anybody else? All right, I'll move on. Braves closer Raciel Iglesias is also being injured list after which shoulder inflammation. Braves manager Brian Stinkler said on Thursday that he has low-grade inflammation and will not resume throwing until at least next week. The Braves open up the regular season on Thursday against their division rival, the Nationals. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. You can say that again. You can say that again, Steve. All right. He told reporters that MRI showed revealed there was no structured damage and hopes the Braves closer will return sooner than expected. Okay, so at least that's good news. It's not damaging. Iglesias was to start the season as the Braves closer after serving as a set man for Kenley Jansen last year for the Braves, who was acquired by the Angels last August. He posted an 0.34 ERA in 28 appearances for the Braves last season before he got traded. He has been in the league 8 seasons, has 157 career saves between the Braves, Angels, and Reds. So, and of course, that was to all the innings he's pitched before. Oh no! Oh boy! Come on, you guys know I was going somewhere with that. Those of you all can remember that. Ugh, yeah. Some of you might have got that joke. Some of you don't. Oh boy. Hmm. I'll explain it to you later. Okay. And as he mentioned, Altuve underwent surgery to repair a fractured it's a right thumb injury, actually, Steve, not just his hand, it's just his thumb. And yeah, yeah, pretty much. And he won't be able to resume baseball activities for at least 2 months. That's right, 2 months. Altuve, yeah, he's all thumbs now. Oh boy. Um, Altuve, who played for Venezuela in the WBC, was injured last week when he was hit by a fastball of 96 miles per hour by Rockies pitcher Daniel Bard. The Astros said in a statement that Altuve had surgery in Houston and will remain at the uh, Astros training facility in West Palm Beach as the Astros get ready for the season. He might not be able to return to the lineup till at least the end of May, but it's better than being out for the entire season. So, just be thankful for that. So, it's kind of like good news and bad news. So they found Nemo. Okay. Ah, there goes there goes the joke. Okay, next. All right. So Julio Urias is lined to pitch opening day for the Dodgers, and Clayton Kershaw said, "I got no problem." Manager Dave Roberts has not announced his starter for March 30th versus the D-backs. However, he told reporters that Urias will pitch in a Cactus League game. Rather, he did prize a Cactus League game yesterday against the Brewers as he returns from the WBC with Mexico. That would put the left-hander on regular rest versus the D-backs. Kershaw pitching for Game 2. Kershaw is a three-time National Cy Young winner and has made 9 opening day starts, even though not consecutive. It is a franchise record. He made 8 straight between 2011 and 2018, and then again in 2021. Walter Buehler was the opening starter last season against the Rockies. After that, and after that they said, "Has anybody seen Buehler? Bueller. Oops, wrong one. But at least you got that one. Urias won 17-7 with 2.16 ERA and 31 starts and was third in the NL Cy Young voting last year. Kershaw is a 9-time All-Star with 5 titles, but has been slowed by injury in recent years, and we all know that. And that's probably why the Dodgers have lost in the playoffs in those recent years when they were expected to win. As I've heard some people say before, who is the only team that can beat the Dodgers? The Dodgers themselves. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So what do we make of that? And what are the Dodgers' What are the Dodgers' chances this year? Think so? Mm, yeah. Or maybe not. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Nick. Okay. Now, I suppose you've all heard about the changes that Major League Baseball is making this year. Slight changes to pitch clock rules are going to happen with the regular season now only a week away. The document, the fifth of what source called clarification memo sent by the league this spring, was distributed on Wednesday. Players on a joint competition committee between the Players Association and the league requested several changes. They'll still have um, the rules in spring training, like 15 seconds with no one on, 20 seconds with the runner on, and need to be alert in the batter's box with 8 seconds. On one hand, we are prepared to make adjustments based on input set by the commission by Commissioner Rob Manfred. But on the other hand, we want to give it a chance to see how it plays out in an adjustment period in some regular season games before considering other changes. Pitching clock violations have dipped in the past month of spring training from 203 to 103 just this week, in line with the reduction of minor league testing last season. The average game time has shrunk from 3 hours and 1 minute to 2 hours and 36 minutes per game. So these new rules are working, guys. They are shortening the playing time. That's what people wanted. Well, the league wanted. So I think maybe there is something good that's coming out of this. Of course, now we got to wait and see what happens Thursday when the regular season starts. You know, they had trouble adjusting to the pitch clock and with the bases being bigger in the part of spring training. Now let's see what can happen once the regular season begins. I think once we get the hang of it, like in the second or third week, I think they're gonna be more aware and more aware what the rules are gonna be with the pitch clock and when getting it on time. So I think this has all been a good idea based on what I've seen heard in spring training so far. But I know there are some of you thinking that these rules are crazy. Then again, you think I'm crazy, right, Alex? Thank. Ha. I expected that. So what do you make of the new rules though? Anyway, especially that's the idea. Yeah, I like it too. So these rules, I think I mean, it was a little tough at first. Like, hey, wait a minute, I didn't get in there. You only had 8 seconds, buddy. You got to keep your eye on the ball and everything. So that was the first. That was the problem in the beginning of spring training. Yes. Yeah. Right. That's what we need. That's what we need. You got to go back to like was the 70s and 80s because you know those in those days, it wasn't always, like 4-hour games and whatnot. That's only been like since the late 80s into the 90s when, you know, the pace just slowed to a crawl. And that did not make baseball enjoyable. Hmm. I found something interesting here. Top five ACC quarterback rooms. Hmm. Number one, Florida State. Number two, North Carolina. Number three, Clemson. Number four, NC State. Number five, Miami. I just found this. Thank you, Charles. Jimmy, you're a Miami fan. What do you make of that? But Miami being at the fifth spot. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So to touch base on the WBC Classic, at the final, the two best players squared off face to face, acknowledged each other what was going to happen. At the top of the ninth, with two outs in a one-run game, in the batter's box stood Mike Trout on the pitcher's mound, and show me the money Otani was there when it was over. It would be as they would again be on same sides as the Angels teammates start, but they were on opposite sides on Tuesday. 3 minutes later, when the bat of a lifetime ended, Otani was mobbed by the field as his teammates as the new WBC champs, and Trout was sulking back to the Team USA dugout. Can't blame him. After swinging through a frisbee slider on a full count and cementing Japan's 3-2 victory. I actually watched that game, but I was sick by it. I believe, yeah, I believe this is the best moment of my life, said Otani through an interpreter, on a two-way player by sheer force, wrestled away the title from Trout and Team USA. The possibility of the moment emerged after Samurai Japan clinched a spot in the final on Monday after a walk-off win against Mexico. The defending the defending Olympic gold medalists ran right through pool play and the quarterfinals, hoping to take a shot at Team USA with their countless all stars and billion-dollar lamps in the final. That's a little insulting. Thank you very much. Um, when they did, a great baseball game broke out, full of elite pitchers and hitters, making mistake-free defense and ready to tilt in each other team's favor. It was by knockout with Otani dispatching Trout from the batter's box and Team USA from a tournament that nearly chewed up in pool play. The mighty Dominican Republic had lost before the knockout round, far from a chalk affair, to see Japan versus the U.S. To imagine Otani versus Trout like the tin said doll inside of a tantalized fans old and new to the game. So to actually, did anybody actually watch that game between the U.S. and Japan on Tuesday? Yeah. Yeah, so with the Dodgers. Yeah, right. Well, yeah, because the Angels haven't won since 2002. Okay, so what happened? Yeah. And by the way, Otani was named MVP. Oh, great. Ugh. I'm not either. I'm not either. Yes. Right. Really? Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Sunday. Yeah. Yes. Sure. Right. Okay, Steve, you got any UFC information you want to pass along? Right. Mhm. Yes. Yes. Mhm. Yeah. All right. Diane, your trivia. It's up to you. It's your department. Not so much. Just see what you can find. You can XFL. If you want to count that, go ahead. If you got baseball, go ahead. Go ahead. Oh boy. Thank goodness. It's gotta be Cy Young. It's gotta be. Thank you. Yeah, I thought so. Now get this, guys. Get this. Nolan Ryan never won a Cy Young award. Can you believe that? All the magic he's done, and he never won. And yet you get a schmo like Degrom who won two Cy Youngs with a record that wasn't even coming close to Ryan. I don't get that at all. I don't get that at all. I think it was Almar. Almar. Okay. Prince Fielder. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. Cecil. It's Cecil, but okay. Yeah, I do. Well, Cecil was a great, yeah. On the 91 championship team. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. Yes. Oh, really? Now, as much as I don't want to admit it, it's Pete Rose. Enough said. I'm not going. I'm not going there. Charlie Hustle. Yeah, but considering his what happened during his career and and the with the betting scandal, I'm not going there. Yeah. All right. So I know, but some people's minds are hard to change. Oh, I got a question for you guys. Um, is it just me, or was the way that FU coach Tobin Anderson leaving? Am I the only one that's upset about this? Because I think that he bolted it, you know, purposely. I mean, he took the team from a 4-21 record last season to the second round in the NCAA tournament, and then he's gonna bolt out and head to Iona. Okay, I get the point is replacing Rick Pitino, a legend, but to go like that, just like that, I think that's terrible. Leaving a school that could have great potential with him staying, and all of a sudden he decides to jump ship. I'm not happy about that. Yeah, yeah, but a bum steer is what I call it. Am I the only one who feels this way? Jimmy, what do you feel about this? I mean, you're from the area too, so I think it was totally bogus of what he did. Ugh, exactly, exactly. After you, yeah, no, no. You get one good year, and then you decide to jump ship to join another conference or another school. Not that Iona is not a bad school, but I just think how the way it was done was just poorly planned. Yeah, well, still, I don't think it was right. What? Mm, well, what's gonna happen next year? When they start up. I mean, can they have the same success? I don't know. It's gonna be some big shoes to fill. I can tell you that right now. Yeah, literally. Yes. Yeah. Right. Right. All right. So I gotta move on. Wonder where Dana is. All right. Well, Roger Goodell and the NFL owners are expected to finalize a multi-year extension for the commissioner next week. Oh, great. Yeah. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with this at all. The competition committee is they're gonna give it to him. I know. Decided to discuss a 3-year extension, according to sources, but there has been no length of time given yet. If they were smart, they wouldn't give it to him at all. The NFL had hmm, I hope not. The NFL declined to the NFL declined to comment. Yes, he's horrible. They have declined to comment. The framework is not known, but is expected to be incentive laden, and considering the league's success in the finances, this is the most lucrative deal given to any sports commissioner. This is the fourth extension for Goodell, who took over Paul Tagliabue back in 2006. The previous extensions came from 2009, 2012, and 2017. He's not very well liked, Diane. That is a given. He is not well liked. Yes, 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 yes. Mhm. Yes, probably. All right. All right. On the same day, the Bills' lead rusher departed for Houston. The Bills reached an agreement with Patriots running back Damian Harris for 1 year. Just hours before the Texans signed Devin Singletary to a 1-year deal worth 3.7 million by ESPN. Singletary led the Bills in rushing since he was selected fourth in 2019, 74th overall. His replacement Harris was drafted by the Patriots at 87 the same year. So your Bills got a good pickup, die. I'll say that. Yeah. So it's a good move on that one. I had some Jets. Okay. Oh, yeah. And more Mets news. Mets outfielder DJ Stewart talked himself into another at bat against the Cardinals after bench coach Eric Chavez said he was coming out after 3 plate appearances. Stewart came out in the seventh and hit a home run, which completed the cycle. A cycle in preseason. That's unusual. To break it down, Stewart hit a triple in the first, single in the third, double in the fifth, and hit a home run in the seventh. Very unusual. More good news is Brandon Nimmo looks here for opening day. This is certainly good news for the Mets after losing closer Edwin Diaz for the season after injuring his right knee in the WBC game last week. So good news and bad news for the Mets. But Nimmo also had a scare recently as he's slid awkward at second base trying to break up a double play. But he seems to be okay and ready to go for next week. All right. So hopefully things will be okay with that. The Lions and free agent safety C.J. Gardner Johnson came to terms a one-year deal with $8 million. Yeah, 1 year. Well, exactly. Yeah. He's a nincompoop anyway. Right. And Elliott, yeah. All right. A source said yes. Mhm. Yes. You're still a Commanders fan, huh? Okay. All right. Yeah. I have something else here too. I'll find it. Yeah. Okay, well, I have an idiot of the week here. Missouri linebacker Chad Bailey was suspended from the football team after being arrested for suspicion of DWI. Bailey was booked at 2:45 a.m. local time and released on $500 bond. That, according to online records, the Boone County Sheriff's Office said we are aware of the situation. Bailey and head coach Eli Drinkwitz said in a statement from the St. Louis Dispatch, he has been, according to the police, he has been suspended according to the Department of Athletics policy. We have high expectations for our athletes on and off the field, and we will follow all the departmental and campus policies. He started 11 games last season and missed 2 owing to injury. He returned. He will return for his 6th year at Missouri after opting to return for his final year of it being eligible. So we have our first idiot of the week right there, and we have a few more. Yes, I do. I do. You gotta turn that down, guys. You gotta turn that thing down. All right. Um, what else do we have here? Okay. And Patriots longtime linebacker Dante Hightower announced his retirement. The 3-time Super Bowl winner announced that back on Tuesday. I don't think I could write a better story than what I had in New England, said Hightower, as he said in an essay on the Players Tribune website. So this is a happy day for me. I'm happy that I'll be at peace knowing I gave the Patriots every ounce of sweat I had left in me. Mr. February, as he's called, for his knack for making clutch plays in Super Bowls. He played 117 games with 114 starts, totaling 569 tackles and 27 sacks. And yeah. Mm-hmm. No, Steve. Among his clutch plays was a strip sack from Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan in the Super Bowl of all Super Bowls, where they coughed up a 25-point lead, ending up losing in the first overtime. The only Super Bowl to go to overtime. Seahawks running back Marshall Lynch near the goal line and played that preceded Malcolm Busters in a game reception. It's Super Bowl XLIX. Hightower won 2 national titles with the Crimson Tide and joined the Patriots as a 2012 first-round draft pick. Yeah, he's going to be missed all right. Yeah, who can forget? Who could forget? Who could forget that play that changed the whole game around? Okay, after the release of Zeke Elliott a week ago, the Cowboys have agreed to a one-year deal by signing Ronald Jones. The announcement was made on Wednesday. This does not mean that Jones is the sole replacement for 2023, but the Cowboys have provided depth to Tony Pollard, who was on the franchise tag. I think I go with Pollard, to be honest with you. The Cowboys are the no, Pollard's great. No, Zach is not what he used to be. No. Well, I'll give you that. Mm, let me see. All right, so moving on. The Cowboys signed a deal with Dante Fowler Jr. to become the third defender to re-sign with the team, along with safety Donovan Wilson and linebacker Lathan Van Esch. Jones was with the Chiefs last season, but only played 6 games with 17 carries after 4 years with the Yucks. His best season came in 2020 when the Bucks won the Super Bowl and finished with 970 yards, 192 carries, and 7 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, Elliott, hasn't been what he used to be, so it was time for him to go. I'm not surprised. Steve, there's more than money. There's more with the money. No. And Bryce Harper could return to lineup sooner than expected after suffering through right elbow surgery. He'll start the season on the injured list, but President of Operations Dave Dombrowski said that the two-time MVP would not go on the 60-day injured list for now, meaning he would not be activated until the end of May. After undergoing surgery in November, the Phillies say would not return until July. Harper indicating the same result when he arrived in camp last month, adding that the Phillies would play it smart in his recovery. Dombrowski said the timetable has not changed much, and the Phillies could still use him on the 60-day list if it needed a spot to open on the 40-man roster, and know that Harper would not be able to return until May. Going to his fifth year, of his 13-year deal worth $330 million with the Phillies. Harper has not played since April 16th of last season. He had a platinum-rich plasma injection on his elbow in May and was a full-time DH for the rest of the season, and helped reach the World Series for the first time since 2009 when they lost to the Yankees. Sorry. This time they lost to the Astros. Yeah. Okay, our second 80 of the week, Alabama defensive back Troy Mitchell was seen speeding at 141 miles per hour as he attempted to flee the police in Florida and break the sound barrier at the same time. He was arrested, according to a report from AL.com. Mitchell and a passenger in his car, Christopher Lewis, were arrested and booked on March 15th by the deputies of Holmes County Sheriff's Office and charged with possession of marijuana with the intent to sell or deliver. Lewis also was charged with carrying a firearm without a permit. Shame on you. Head coach Nick Saban said that Mitchell was suspended from the team and all activity until more information is gathered. According to the arrest report by AL.com, after Saban's comments on Tuesday, um, last night recovered 226 grams of marijuana, which is about 8 ounces, and more than 7,000 cash from the vehicle. Okay, what's going on, Steve? Nah, you don't like the show. Mitchell and Lewis were stopped at Mitchell and Lewis were stopped by a nearby location where police smelled the marijuana coming out within the vehicle, according to the report. Mitchell admitted to fleeing the police and that Lewis told him to punch it. Police know that report that Mitchell's eyes were red and glassy, and was slow to respond to answering questions. Oh, gee, I wonder why. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Okay, guys, we gotta move on. We gotta move on. Steve Cohen. Hmm. Taylor's here. Oh, good evening, Taylor. All right. Okay, getting ready for the baseball season with the Tigers? Mm. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, they do. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Actually, I found some here from your neck of the woods. As Michigan freshman guard Jeff Howard is going to declare himself for the NBA draft. Another underclassman going for that. 16th on the prospect. Yeah, but I think it's too soon. I mean, you're only a freshman. I mean, I think you're asking too much. Hmm. So he's 16th on the prospect list and is rehabbing ankle injuries that he suffered in both his left and right foot in Big Ten play. The extent will not be known until the end of the season, and he's out the NIT consulting with doctors. That's another reason why I don't think you should. I mean, he's just injured, and now he's expected to go in the NBA draft. Uh, no, I don't think it's a very smart move, especially if coming off an injury. Yeah, his dad's also a coach. Howard, yeah, ah, yes, and Jawan was a great player. Sure, yeah. Jawan, you better have a talk with your son. Oh boy. So anyway, he had an outstanding season, finishing with 14.2 points per game and earned all Big Ten three-team honors and named the conference all freshman team. Well done. But still, I think you're pushing your luck after just coming up with an injury and thinking you're going to be heading into the NBA draft for next season. Not a very smart move. Sorry. All right. LeBron is progressing towards a comeback from his right foot injury, as possibly he could return before the regular season ends in about 2 weeks. James suffered a tendon injury in his right foot last month in Dallas and is resumed activity and is on a gradual movement progression. The Lakers made the announcement on Thursday. James tweeted he is working at least out 3 times a day to give his best chance of returning in full strength. The Lakers are on the outside looking in as they're now eighth in the Western Conference with 9 games to play. So to see about that. Clippers star Paul George avoids torn ligaments in his sprained right knee and is not expected to require surgery. That's the good news. He will miss the rest of the regular season and not be checked for about 3 weeks, but took a big sigh of relief that he did not suffer a more serious injury after colliding with the Thunder's Lou Dort in the fourth quarter as they lost on Tuesday. George will stop to have his left knee heal before being evaluated again once he feels his knee is strong enough. We'll see about that. It'll need time to ramp up if he's able to return at all in the postseason. The Clippers are fifth in the West at 39-35 at last check, but only 2 games out of seventh and the play-in turn with 8 games left. If the Clippers clinch a spot for a potential turn for George, it is possible. Eric Gordon is expected to fill the spot while George is out for the rest of the regular season. So time will tell. We'll just have to wait and see about that. Yeah. Oh dear. Wow. Well, if the Blue Jackets, yeah, right. So if you think the Blue Jackets season has been bad enough, well, it just got worse as forward Patrick Lane will be on 2 to 4 weeks after straining a tricep muscle in practice. Yet another blow to the last place team who hasn't done jack all year. The Blue Jackets announced in the absence of Lane uh, before last night's game against the Islanders. They have 454 man games lost due to injuries and one of the highest of the league with a horrible record of 22, 41, and 7. That's right, I said 22, 41, 7. Lane missed two other stints with elbow and ankle injuries in the fall. On the bright side, though, he is second team scoring with 52 points in 55 games. But still, this team has done nothing all season, so it only adds to injury. And the Bruins, of course, are still Bruins in Carolina. That's going to be coming down. I think it'd be an Eastern Conference preview, maybe. Our third idiot of the week, Mavericks superstar Luka Doncic was fined $35,000 for directing a gesture in an unprofessional manner at an NBA official. Don was seen rubbing his hands together in a reference to money while staring down a referee with 1.7 seconds left to go against the Warriors, which they lost. Don expressed frustration with several no calls on his drives to the basket in the loss and was not assessed with any technical fouls for the gesture. He has so far 15 technical fouls, one shy of an automatic suspension because you need 16 for that. Oh boy. Mavericks owner Mark Cuban, told ESPN that the team has notified the league as protesting the loss after there was confusion over what team had possession of the ball that led to an uncontested dunk for the Warriors late in the third quarter. The Mavericks provide evidence to support the protest within 5 days of the conclusion of the game. Coming out of the timeout, Kevin Looney, or as I say, Kevin Looney Tunes, had a free dunk on the inbounds pass with 1:56 to go in the third quarter. The Mavericks, believing they had possession, were lined up on the offense end of the court, with Cuban attributed to the officiating error. Mm-hmm. Now, like I said, your third idiot of the week right there. I mean, he's a great player though, but still, you don't make a move like that. Okay, now for of course the worst player in the league, Ben Simmons, diagnosed with a nerve issue in his back, putting a serious doubt for a return for the forward. Although he hasn't been that good anyway. Simmons was not playing over a month with knee and back issues, was diagnosed with a nerve issue after a evaluation yesterday. The three-time All-Star and two-time Offensive Defensive Selection, Rookie of the Year across 4 years of the Sixers, before being sat off last season after requesting a trade from the Sixers and then dealing with injuries before being traded to the Nets. That's saying James Harden in a blockbuster trade to the Sixers. And while Simmons has returned to the court this season, his numbers have been down across the board. Only 6.9 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 6.1 assists in 26 minutes of playing time. Simmons has 2 years left on his deal, giving him $37.8 million for next season and $40.5 million for 24-25. Since the All-Star break, the Nets have collapsed in the standings and are only 5-10 since coming out of the break and are 7th in the East. They are fading fast, guys. I don't know about you, but I think the Nets are in big trouble, and they just might find themselves out of the play-in game with about 2 weeks to go. Yeah, you big moron. Jimmy, your thoughts since you're from the area. You're telling me I didn't want him. The guy's been a loser since he started playing. I mean, even the magazine publications were already praising him before he even played an NBA game. And what has he done really? Nothing. He's a bum. Ben Simmons is a bum. I'm sorry to say that, but that's how he is. And he's gonna cost the Nets, I think, a chance to get past the playing game if they even make the playing game now, because they are on a crash course with themselves. Anybody else have any thoughts? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. All right. Anyone else? Okay. That's true. A big cancer. Wait a minute. I thought it was a Libra. Oh, wrong. Wrong kind of Cancer. Yeah. Yeah. Wait. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, put it this way. Diane, he's more toxic than Britney Spears song. Oh, okay. There you Ben Simmons. Oh boy, that was bad. That was bad. Okay, well the Lakers seem to be making some moves here. They made the 500 mark for the first time this season, and it only took them 74 games to do it. Now instead of facing a deficit, we're trying to create a surplus and create between wins and losses, said Coach David Ham. This comes after starting the season at 2-10. Now at 37-37, the Lakers reached the 5 mark for the first time since January of 2022 at 24-24. The last time a team reached 500 this late in the season was the Miami Heat in the 2003-2004 season. That took 78 games. The Bullets, now the Wizards, took 74 games to reach that mark in the 89 season. I graduated high school that year. And the Suns did in the last game of the season in the 83-84 season. Right, right. That's true. Right. Okay. So anyway, Dennis Schroeder, who replaced D'Angelo Russell, with a short hit, finished with 21 points and 6 assists. Guard Lonnie Walker finished with 20 points off the bench and only played 12 minutes though. We are now at 500. It's time to get on the other side and get more wins, said Anthony Davis, who scored a double double with 37 points and 15 rebounds. We now have the chance to get above 500 against a good Bulls team. Well, they're not that good. This is the last game on the Lakers homestand before a 4-game road trip with the Bulls, Wolves, Rockets, and Jazz, and all that jazz. The Lakers have the same record as the Timberwolves, but the Wolves on the tiebreaker against the Lakers with the 2-0 series season lead with 1 game left between them. Guys, it's looking pretty interesting for the Lakers. Do they have enough muscle to make it? Okay, I'll give you that. Hmm. Well, I don't know, Jimmy. What do you make of that? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, moving along. Let's Taylor, you have any thoughts on the Lakers? Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, it started out bad, but they've improved dramatically. So I got to give them credit for that. Okay. Your team was doing bad when the home crowd boos you. And in case of the Mavericks, they got booed last night, like you wouldn't believe, on their own home court, as they lost to one of the worst teams, lead the Charlotte Hornets by 18 points. Oof. Well, led by much 18 points. We should have been booed at the beginning of the game, said Jason Kidd, a former player for the Nets, to a Hornets team that has now had the Mavericks sinking down the 11th spot in the West and are out of the playing game for now. Kidd described the Mavericks' effort as awful, a pile of puke, as I call it, as the Hornets are now at 24-51. They scored 37 points despite missing 3 starters and playing a second back to back. That's true. To make things worse, the Mavericks were the favorite to win by 16 points last night, and it was the biggest upset by any NBA team this season. The Mavericks have only been 7-12 since Kyrie Irving joined, coming from the Nets. Oh no, what am I losing? Oh, The Mavericks management had hoped his arrival would boost their chances to contend this season. Not so. This includes going 3-7 with Kyrie and Luka both in the starting lineup and both dealing with nagging injuries. The one bright spot, Doncic had 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists in his second game back from recovering from a thigh strain, and saying that we have to play harder and show others that we care, and it starts with me first. I had to lead this team by playing harder. Yeah, I have to lead this team by playing harder, and this is getting rough on me. Doncic was fined $35,000 for making a money gesture towards an official during a loss to the Warriors. Acknowledged that he has never been this frustrated in his 5 seasons of playing. The process has failed, and it's all Ben Simmons' fault. Good take on that one, Taylor. You're right about that. As I said before, what a bum. Where did they get? I mean, where did they go? But go back to Australia. Yeah. Yes. Yes, you should. Okay, the Bruins had suspended AJ Green, the forward for the Bruins, 1 game for cross-checking Montreal forward Mike Hoffman. Forward on forward. The NHL Department of Player Safety made the announcement yesterday. Uh, the incident, the incident between the forwards occurred in Thursday's game between the Canadiens and the Bruins. Heated rivalry. Before a face-off with 3 minutes left in the first period, Greer, AJ Greer, tussled Hoffman and gave him a cross-check to the face. Hoffman was hunched over in pain following the hit and left the game for treatment. Greer was given a 5-minute major and a match penalty for a game misconduct. Yeah. 5 for fighting. It's not easy to be me. Okay. Another idiot here. Arizona Coyotes minority owner Andrew Barvaway has been suspended by the league for his arrest for domestic violence. What a jerk. He spent Thursday in the county jail after the police arrested him at a hotel in Aspen following a strangulation charge, according to a police report obtained by the Aspen Daily News. The NHL is aware of the arrest and is pending further information. Until that time, he is suspended from the league. Good. Marvaway was arrested after a verbal altercation with his wife, then turned physical, according to the report. That's not good right there, folks. He is prohibited from contacting his wife except through his children and cannot consume alcohol, which would be a mistake if he did. He also faces a class 4 felony. He also faced a class 4 felony charge, a second-degree assault charge related to the strangulation, as well as a third-degree assault charge, according to the affidavit. Marvaway is a minority owner of the team, which is only about 5%, so not a major owner, but still pretty stupid if you ask me. I mean, your own wife, crying out loud. I mean, these domestic instances are just through the roof, and it's gotta stop. Yes, exactly. There's no need for that. Oh, of course. Exactly. There's no need for that. Right. All right. So we have some men's soccer news here. I wish Devin was here. Team USA got an easy win over Grenada last night in a 7-1 rout. Their first game since the 2022 World Cup. Ricardo Pepe, Weston McKenzie each scored twice, and Christian Pulisic played a major role in the other 5 goals, including scoring one himself. With this win last night, the U.S. needs one more win against El Salvador on Monday to finish at the top of the group and make the nation's 4 league in June. In a game that felt more like a training exercise for the U.S., a team against a team ranked 173rd in the world. Wow. The U.S. squad set a new record for most goals outside U.S. soil. 173rd rank. I thought they were better. I thought Grenada was better than that. I guess not. The visiting U.S. squad scored 4 goals in 34 minutes in an 8,000 seat stadium at the St. George Capitol and puts the home team to shame. Yeah, good. And of course, there'll be a good year for soccer coming up with the Gold Cup this year. And I always look forward to that. Last year, we were defending champions. All right, guys, it's time to go for our Elite Eight, as we're only about 20 minutes away from tip off. So let's do the. Boy, you really know how to spoil the party. All right, so let's get started. All right, you guys are ready? Good, let's do it. All right, for today's matchups, in the first game, coming up in about a half an hour, 40 minutes, I should say. Number 3, Kansas State against Florida Atlantic. All right, Steve, you're up. Ooh, okay. All right. Yeah, Alex, Alec, Jimmy, Taylor, Taylor, mm. Diane, yeah, Diane, Kansas State, Florida Atlantic. Diane, are you there? I think she's having trouble. I'll get back to her. That's not her. Wait, Diane, are you there? Or she's having trouble? We'll move on. All right. Big match, good matchup here. Number 3, Gonzaga against number 4, UConn. Steve, Alec, Jimmy, Taylor. All right, Diane, if you're there. I'm going with UConn, and I'm gonna go with Florida Atlantic on this one. Call me crazy, but yeah, they better. On to tomorrow's game. Okay. Okay, on to tomorrow's game, starting in the afternoon at 2:20. San Diego State versus I Hate Creighton. Steve, thank you. Jimmy, Alec, Taylor. I'm going San Diego State. All right. Big one here. Texas, Miami. We'll think this over. Steve, Jimmy. All right. Alec and Taylor. I'm gonna go Texas as well. All right. So yeah, why don't we do the women's game? Why not? I mean that's just as important, I believe. All right. So Ohio State is leading UConn, but oh wow, Ohio State's leading UConn with 53 seconds to go, 34 seconds to go. I say Ohio State's gonna win this. Oh boy. Um, okay, we only have one game left tonight. Tennessee versus Virginia Tech. Steve. Now this is women's now. Keep that in mind. All right. Jimmy. All right. All right. Alec. Yes, Alec. All right, and Taylor. I'm going Tennessee too. All right, so now we'll do tomorrow. This should be ready. All right. Tomorrow's games go like this. We have starting with Arkansas versus Kansas. Steve, Jimmy, Alec, Taylor. I'm going Kansas U. All right. In the Ivy League schools, Harvard versus Columbia. Steve, It's Columbia. Jimmy, for the record, Steve, it's my area, so you know. All right, Alec Taylor. I'll go Columbia too. Oregon, Washington. Steve, Jimmy, Alec, Taylor. I'll go Oregon too. LSU, Miami. Okay, Jimmy, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course. Right. Steve, Alec, and Taylor. I'm going with LSU. And last but not least, Iowa versus Louisville. Steve. Thanks. Alec, Jimmy, Iowa, Louisville, and Taylor. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Louisville. That looks to be good. All right, so we'll try some NIT here. Oh boy, I know you're thinking you're gonna do what now? Yeah, I cover NIT as well. Even though it's not as good as the NCAA tournament itself, but I'll give it a go anywho. So their next matchup is Thursday, and I think they're in the final four here. Yes, or the Elite Eight. So for March 28th in the NIT, first up, North Texas versus Wisconsin. Steve, Jimmy, Alec, Taylor. I'm going Wisconsin. Utah Valley versus University of Alabama, Birmingham. Steve. Right, of course. Jimmy, Alec, and Birmingham. And Taylor. Alabama, Birmingham. Yeah, Birmingham. Yes. And that's a semifinal matchup. So winner of that will go to the final. All right. So it's time for this week. Oh, wait. Before I do this week in history, can you guys tell me what do you think was your best and worst moments of March? Steve, I'll start that with you. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Make it quick, Steve. Make it quick. Right. Okay. Jimmy, your best and worst. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. All right. Alec, the best and worst of the month. Yeah. Yes. 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 All right. Taylor. Yes. Right. Okay. Well, I think the best was, of course, FDU pulling out the humongous upset against Purdue. I mean, you couldn't get any better than that. Yeah. Yes, and the worst. Yes, of course. Right. Yeah. The worst I think has to be, of course, Edwin Diaz getting hit with an knee injury and is out for the season. You can't. I mean, that was a devastating injury right there. And I'll put in a I'll put in a bonus in that. Travis Kelsey's performance on Saturday Night Live earlier this month. Oh, that was a comedy of errors right there. Yeah, forget it. I'm not going. I'm not going there. Enough said on that one. Forget it. Forget it. Yes. All right. Well, like I said, FDU being the number one seed. All right. So this week in history, and away we go. If I can find something noteworthy here. Okay. 1937 is revealed that Quaker Oats pays Babe Ruth $25,000 per year for ads. Ads back in 1937. It was only on radio back then, though. 1947 NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Holy Mackerel beats Oklahoma 58-47. Okay, Holy Cross. Oh, where's John Kennedy when I need him? 1957 NBA modifies the free throw rule. Oh, before we get into anything else, I want to pass the condolences along to us. We lost a great player this past week. Willis Reed of the New York Knicks passed away at the age of 80 on Tuesday. What a shame. A great player all around. And of course, also managed the Nets, and when I was a commentator for many years, and pulled off, pulled off a Michael Jordan 20 years earlier when he was out in one game, and then nobody expected to come back, and it's like surprise, I'm back, guys, and they went on to win the 1970 championship. Ah, what a great book! And it was also a commentary one time too. I mean, they had the ceremony on Tuesday night, and his former teammate Walt Clyde Frazier was on hand too and gave an emotional testimony on that, and he will be missed. What a shame. All right, at the 23rd men's basketball championship, Cincinnati beat Ohio State 70-65 in overtime. Future Hall of Famer Jerry Lucas was MVP for the second straight year. Wow. 1967, UCLA beat Dayton. Bruin center Lou Alcindor, later named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, tournament MVP. 1971, the Boston Patriots officially become the New England Patriots. I call it them. In 1972, basketball championship, UCLA beats Florida 81-76 for their sixth straight title. Bill Walton, tournament MVP. Most outstanding player, MOP. They called him MOP back then. 1972, Blackhawks Bobby Hull becomes the second NHL to score 600 goals. And is Boston assisted by his brother Dennis. Keeping in the family. I like that. 1972, USA wins its sixth consecutive national title. 1979, Martina Navratilova retains her WTA Tour Championship 6-3. In three sets, 6-3, 3-6, 6-2 to win over Tracy Austin of New York City. Oh, boy. 1982, Wayne Gretzky becomes the first NHL player to score 200 points in a season. How do you like that? Guys, are you all still here? Anybody's okay. I want to make sure I still have people on here. All right. Moving right along. Men's figure skating championship was won by Brian Poitano in 1986. I remember that very well. 1988, Robin Gibbons demands full access to Mike Tyson's money. Okay, I'm not going there. No way. You can say that again. 2013, Tiger Woods returns as the number one golfer in the world rankings. Of course. Yeah. I also wanted to mention that today is a special show because, well, some of you, of course, know this. Probably all of you know this. Today is the 25th of March. But tomorrow is the 26th of March, and that happens to coincide with, yes, my birthday. So I wanted, to get everybody on here today, for that, because this would make it more special. So tomorrow I turn another year. No, I'm not going to say how old I am. Forget it. I'm not going there. But this is what made a special show. Last year I actually did on my birthday, and that was a pretty good show, if I do say so myself. I think we had a good time that night. I think we set a record that night too. Thank you. Yeah, so tomorrow I'll be celebrating. So it'll be worth it. I'll have my family over. Diana will be with me as well. So it's going to be a great day. And it's going to be a great day to celebrate it too, because today here in the Northeast, it is, awful, to say the least. One more note here. Adding to an already crowded wide receiver room, the Jets added Chiefs wideout Mecole Hardman to a one-year deal. He joins Garrett Wilson, and Alan Lazard as the top receivers. Corey Davis and Denzel Mims are entering their final year of their contracts and could be traded or released within several weeks. Moving on from Davis would create a cap space of $10.5 million, which would be needed to complete a trade for Aaron Rodgers. So we'll have to see about that. Hardman has played 8 games in the regular season in 2022, catching 25 passes for 297 yards and 4 touchdowns. He also had rushed for 31 yards and 2 touchdowns. He missed the final 9 games of the regular season and a divisional round playoff game due to a pelvic injury. Oof, that's gotta hurt. And Elijah Moore has been traded to the Browns. I got 2 words to say about that. I'm terribly sorry. Oh. You guys get the point. You get the point on that one. And the Bucs will have a new kicker, as Ryan Scoop has been released. He was with the team 3 seasons and has averaged, and he is headed off to other pastures. So we'll take care of that. And yeah, Todd Bowles expressed a desire to improve the Bucs' long-range kicking. After last season, it was not Scoop's forte. He had 2 of 7 attempts for 50 yards or more last season, and was 12 for 12 from 40 or yards. He was better in 2021, but this year, not one of his best seasons. All right, so on that note, we're going to wrap it up. Rasul's coming up, so I've got to make way for him. I want to thank everybody for joining in this week. Don't forget, next week is April Fool's Day, but we're still going to be here, whether you like it or we're going to do it, jokes aside. So I hope you all tune in for that, and watch out for the pranks, of course. You get the idea. Yes. So on that note, I want to wish everybody a very safe week, and we hope to see you again next week, same time, same station. On that note, good night.
You have just been in Heads by Lou Tenor and Steve Davidson. See you next Saturday at the same time, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Have a wonderful week from the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network.